I'm James Heaney, and this is Brief News Brief. Over the weekend, we had a tragic loss for the country. One of the Supreme Court judges has died. It was Scalia. Now, Scalia was a very conservative, read the Constitution by the book, like took everything literally. The equivalent of a lawmaker's creationist, if you're familiar, where they take the Bible as literal. Now, of course, as soon as we hear about this, the Republicans are like, no way, you can't nominate a new Supreme Court Justice, Obama. It's too close to the end of your presidency. Of course they say that. They don't want him to put in a liberal judge, which, if you ask me, I think would be a good thing. But overall, that's the battle everybody's after. We just won big if you're with the liberals in the courts. And of course they're going to say not to nominate somebody. Because, they're the losers. Alright? Speaking of losers, we got to see an amazing debate on CBS on February 13th. It was the Republican debate. And I haven't seen such a large group of people lose so hard in one night. My favorite winner of the night was Donald Trump, who just basically moved his mouth open and just allowed sound to completely send out of his face for the entire evening. Nobody could compete with that, not even the bell. The bell would ring saying his time is over. And he's like, not for me, it's not for me, it's not. One battle that wasn't with Trump between anybody was my favorite moment of the night. All right? Ted Cruz, standing just two people away from Mark Rubio, is like, I watched on Univision that Mark Rubio is not going to try to strike down the Dreamers Act, or whatever he was talking about. I was too preoccupied with the obvious horns twitching under his skin.
Marco went on Univision in Spanish and said he would not rescind President Obama's illegal executive amnesty on his first day in office.
I don't know how he knows what I said on Univision because he doesn't speak Spanish. And second of all, the other point that I would make...
Marco, si quieres, díselo ahora mismo, díselo ahora. En español, si quieres.
He said, that's how you want it? Right now, say it. In Spanish, if you want. That's a pretty good drop on somebody. Mark Rubio did not expect him to be speaking Spanish. I half wanted to see them pull out blades and do like a switchblade dance. I don't know why. I'm not sure. Maybe because I just want to see Ted Cruz get cut. I'm not sure. Nonetheless, this is tragic news. There is a car pileup in Pennsylvania. It happened yesterday, which I believe is the 13th. Over 50 cars. And I counted at least 3 semi-trucks. Probably a lot more, but I counted at least 3 separate ones. Probably a lot more. Now, the leading cause of this accident was cars hitting one another, causing crashes of multiple cars. And one of the descriptions from one of the drivers was that the snow was coming down so hard he couldn't see anything out of his windshield except for the brake lights of the car in front of him that he hit. So my thing is if it's snowing that hard that you can't see anything, you shouldn't be traveling close enough to see anyone's brake lights. You should be going so slow that the things around you can't see. Nonetheless, slow down. When I was a young driver and I borrowed my family car, my mom would tell me, like if it was raining or if it was snowing, she would give this advice. She would say, just drive carefully. And it always seemed to work for me. Now, final thing, good news out there in California. The methane gas that has been going for 3 months, leaking from the ground like a volcano, has been plugged. They plugged it with some sort of stuff, scientific stuff. I believe it was cement and water. Was one of the worst natural disasters in American history, only worsened by the BP oil spill from whenever that happened. I guess it was a long time ago. Lots of bad things. But the people living up in, I believe it's Puerto Rancho, California, were so close to this methane that it was like a gated community, and they're like, oh, it smells like gas. Their noses were bleeding, and the eyes were poor. But they can finally stop their complaints. That hole has been plugged. And final news, take a look around. We have fired the entire journalism crew doing any research. So now it's all coming out of this heart right here. And we don't have a desk. We have this nice red area. What do you think about it?